Hey everyone, welcome to Crossroad Conversations with the Lewis Brothers, where we aim to share real stories about running a successful family business, working through adversity, and pouring back into the community that keeps our door open. We're your hosts, Matt, Shelby, and Taylor, and we bring you relevant local business advice and automotive insights that are sure to change the way you look at running a business, and maybe even throw in a plug for you to do business with us.
That's right.
Yep.
So diving into, continue to go through there, we've really broke it down, but rebuilding trust and creating loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like we really create the good side on the loyalty, but owning mistakes publicly, we had talked about there, but making real changes, not empty apologies.
And I think that comes to, the old saying of actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to tell people things so then they know. And I think we've developed as leaders, because in the past, we just do, and hopefully people see the actions, and then people don't do without us saying as well. So it takes both, and that's why both of y'all paused when we said, was it action or was it communication? So I think not empty apologies. We say, hey, I'm sorry for this. We're going to make it right. But then you follow that up, in tandem with it on the actions we're doing.
That's more important than saying it.
Yeah.
Saying it is so important, but then actually having that action, creating the policy.
I'll tell you a scenario that we were in, and we battled this for a while. We had our finance team, and we were having some issues getting paperwork out to customers quick enough. And really it stemmed from them not having the titles from when we traded for vehicles, or not getting duplicate titles, or missing a POA, or all these pieces. And we're like, oh yeah, we're working on that. And I can remember our finance managers looking at us like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we've been talking about this for years. And I was like, we got to figure something else out here. Cause it had gotten a little bit better, but not where we needed to streamline. And it's like, okay, we're going to have these, I don't know how long it'll be. We're going to, everybody in the room, we're going to peel back the layers. And we had massive meetings about it.
Well, because the person, whether it's the customer or the internal employee, they didn't see the behind the scenes work.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see all the effort you are putting in to correct that issue, to create a new policy, to work on parts, to work on service. They don't see all that, right? So you're saying, I'm working on it. And they're like, I'm still driving through the drive-thru ordering a number 1, and I'm getting half a number 2 and half a number 3. What are you working on, right?
Yeah.
It's the menu change, or is the person in there taking the order changing? So then you said, hey, do you mind if we kind of open this up and everyone sees, we're going to go ahead and put a window on the operation room and let you know actually what goes into it? And they're like, we had no clue. And you're like,
but I'll tell you, when I first came up with that idea and we were talking about it, there were people in departments that are like, I don't really know if we're ready, because some of it was still messy.
Yeah.
And some of it still hadn't gotten ironed out. I was like, we got to just throw it on the table. I'll stand up there and referee it so it doesn't get out of control, because it could have. We're talking about some heated moments here.
Yeah.
But we worked through it all, and there both sides were like, I had no clue you were dealing with all this heat.
Yeah.
I had no clue you were missing all this. And I had no clue the work that y'all had done so far to get it to start making progress.
Because it went the other way before it came back.
Oh, yeah.
We opened that up, and you think we addressed that situation. We're like, okay, we're going to come back out of it. No, she kept going down.
Which was necessary, because we couldn't, we were the positive people in between it all. We got all the wrath from finance and got all the wrath from the office.
It was a mess.
And we'd come out and be like, hey, we're working on it. Good things are coming from it. And in your brain, you're just like, oh my gosh.
We would sit after
Oh my
meetings and
gosh.
kind of look at each other and say, whoa.
So it's like, all right, let's just put them all in here. And so then if someone had a problem, I love this. If someone has to have a problem, they can't bring a problem without a solution.
That's right.
So it's like, okay, they're not getting their paperwork. What's your solution, big boy? We're all listening, all 35 of us. Is like,
yeah, I wouldn't say anything.
Right. And so then they were like, well, maybe the finance manager did this. And it's like, perfect. What's your solution, ma'am? And she's like, it's like, okay, so not quite as easy. You're really good at this. You're really good at this. Now let's figure out really good together.
And I think that's important. You guys always hear the positive of it, but it was WWE in there.
Yeah.
We had that one. I think one of them was almost a 4-hour meeting we had high performing producers of revenue that we pulled out of the store, out of the office, peeling back these layers to build trust internally that this was going on, because both departments needed each other. And it had to get rough, and it had to get way down there, and it didn't fix itself after that meeting.
There was an understanding, though.
But
there was an understanding, okay, we are working on it. No, there won't be a fix tomorrow, but we all have the same goal in mind.
And I would say today it runs smoother and better. It's not 100% because there's still a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
But at least people are communicating, they respect, and we're now openly talking about how can we get the customer their information quicker.
Yep.
So that rolls straight into giving employees time to believe again, seeing the process and the machine starting to work together.
That also takes into account including more people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a leader, sometimes you're saying yes to everything, you're trying to handle everything, and they don't see the progress. It's no different than our CIT
Mm-hmm.
or our work in process. There's certain meetings we bring up other layers of people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, I had no clue you had $48 million in vehicles,
Yeah.
and that you have $7 million in frozen assets of collectibles that you're chasing." And they were like, "I had no clue," and it's like, okay. Well, come on in. Let me show it to you, and then we can work on this together. And that's by including more people.
I'll tell you the other thing about including more people. I would sit in meetings before our micro meetings got to where they are today. Now I love them. I really do. But before then, if we only had one side in there, my mind already goes to, like, it just thinks 2 and 3 plays down the road.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets me in trouble. Sometimes it's great. But my mind starts thinking when somebody brings up an idea, I'm like, okay, I like the idea, but who's going to execute it? And how are we going to do this? And do we have the capacity to execute it?
Yep.
That's where my mind goes. And when we'd be in a meeting where we were on the one side and it affected the other side and the other side wasn't in the meeting, I'm thinking in my mind, okay, now I got to take all this and go talk to the other side. That's going to be another hour or 2 hour. And I may not translate some of it the same.
You're not going to.
When we finally put both in there, things started happening. It was translated correctly. Questions were asked. And when we were done with the meeting, we were done with the meeting.
Yeah.
The action went forward.
Mm.
So that's really important to have the correct people in the meeting.
Yeah.
That it affects.
All right, wrapping this area up there, I want y'all's take on how leaders prevent repeating the same trust mistakes.
I think the main issue there is, number one, recognize that you made a mistake.
Yep.
You first have to recognize that.
Yep.
If you make excuses, you're going to constantly be thinking about what excuse did I make and I got to back that one up with this and this. Just own it.
Yep.
Just own it. And then the second thing, like after you've put the fire out right then back up and go, what can I do to prevent this mistake from happening again? I'm okay if a mistake happens one time, because that usually means we're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
On trying to progress, on trying to improve. I'm not okay when it happens a second and a third time. You need to use that opportunity to fix whatever upstream made this mistake happen.
Yeah, it's no different than if you go back to the story of McDonald's when it went from one store
Yep.
to when they brought in, was it Ray Kroc?
Ray Kroc, yeah.
Brought it in, and he was talking about French fries, and the one guy was like, "Hey, that's not long enough." He's like, "Actually, no, that's perfect." Right? And so he was talking about the time. It was like perfect degree of the oil temperature, were the fries frozen or not, and how long were they in there, right? And so having that right person, when the mistake's made, it's okay. Just handle the problem, right? And you don't have to handle the solution in front of the person, but you sit down and you make sure, is it very clearly written how long I should cook the fries? Is it very clearly written? Is everyone who's going to touch or be part of this process, are they very clear in understanding that standard operating procedure? And do they have a very clear understanding of their job description? And so you fix that, you ask that question, is it, and can they find it, right? And then if not, then do it.
Yep.
It's so simple, right? And then make sure they have that, and then follow back up on it and review on it and follow back up on it, because you have to create a new habit.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to give it a like, share it with your friends and family, visit our website, and send us some questions. We want to know what you'd like to hear, who you'd like to hear from, and what you want to see, or maybe even some questions for us to answer about either the automotive industry or just business in general.